Hey, True Believers, England team here, and time for We've Got Issues. The subject tonight is the first subject, of course, we go off on whatever you guys want to talk about. But the first subject is going to be talking about we've got issues with loving to hate geek culture. And maybe you guys have seen the tweets between James Mangold and a couple of people who just want to hate Indiana Jones 5, even though it's basically just now been confirmed. Have either of y'all seen any of this, or am I flying
The
solo?
only hate I saw, there's a scene in there where you have old man Indiana Jones sitting next to Kathleen Kennedy, and everybody started screeching.
That was one of the things. That was one of the things that was brought up. They were like, if you think that Indiana Jones is going to be good, and it was like it's being produced by Kathleen Kennedy, it's not being directed by Steven Spielberg. It's hold on. Oh, Harrison Ford is like 80 or 70, 78, I think he is. And they listed 5 reasons. Those are the 3 that I could remember. But it just kind of hit me, you know, because I'm thinking, all right, we've seen this before. You get an announcement, hey, Batfleck is coming, you know, Ben Affleck is coming, and everybody loses their shit. Everybody loses their shit now over anything, mainly because it's profitable. We've seen it before. Oh, Dominic dropped out. We see it a lot, as a matter of fact, is it's just good to hate on stuff. I've seen thumbnails that said things along the lines of this movie's going to suck, blah, blah, blah. And then if you watch the review, it's actually not a bad review. But, you know, everybody knows it's loving to hate geek culture. There's something about it. There's something that we're drawn to. I'm drawn to it as well. This is not a you guys or kind of thing. It's just weird how that happens. Just a couple of weeks ago, without watching the movie RDV, you were all over hating Cruella de Vil.
No, I
didn't know shit about it, but you wouldn't stop talking about how much.
You take out of context. I didn't say the whole entire film. I said there's a dumb film how she stood there like a mannequin and knocked over.
But yeah, no context. Point being is,
what do you need context for? The dog ran over and she got knocked over.
You had no
killed.
Idea. But
I had no idea because I didn't watch. No, because you're talking shit again.
I'm not talking shit. That's exactly what happened.
Oh my God. Really?
All right. So, yeah. So the thing is this is James Mangold. As far as geeks are concerned, he's the director of Logan, for Christ's sake. What does this guy got to do, Eric? He says to say hello to Eric.
I'm sorry. Are you two finished?
Yeah, I was just busting balls, man. That's all.
I'm just sharing out the stream he never shared out.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Especially after I busted balls. But seriously, this guy's a serious, good director, and yet he's catching shit because his whole point was, why don't you wait? Maybe see a preview, maybe see an image that's not behind a couple of bushes, long range shot with a crappy camera. You know, why don't you actually wait until we get something done before you start critiquing the movie? And I think he was 100% right on this one.
This is the price we pay for everybody having access to ways to give everybody their opinions. Kind of like I'm doing right now.
Exactly. I know, right? It's just a weird thing that's going on. Mangold says, so let me get this straight, Ryan. You could spurg about me, but I'm supposed to stay silent while you do it and bait clicks because Lucasfilm and not random timelines, the same timeline of the dude spurging about my film. I don't exactly get where that one's coming from, but it does happen, and it happens quite a bit. We see a lot of people talking about, well, I'll never see this because it's going to suck because of this and this and this and this. And look, you tell me Kathleen Kennedy's attached to something. These days, of course, I agree. There's going to be a lack of confidence because the last thing we saw her attached to was a destruction of another fine franchise. Is Indiana going to become a girl's name? And we're going to get Indiana 6. and it's going to be a girl, and they're gonna race swap her or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past.
I'd say it's a 100% chance of that.
Yeah. Let's see. And by the way, yes, hello to RDV and Eric. Thank you for jumping on this one. RDV was laying it on a little too thick there. The argument wasn't believable. Let's see. The picture was Indiana Jones and the search for the early dinner special. That's funny. I like that one. So, okay, so he's 80, right? And you got to figure he cannot be the central action here. They've got to try another mutt, right?
Yeah, and they will. And like I said, it will be, it will more than likely be a girl, because that's just kind of where all the franchises are going now. It's just the way things are in these times. And, you know, if you're a fan of the old stuff, you just got to you got to compartmentalize. You had your time. Now they get theirs.
Yeah, I guess so. But holy crap. Because, I mean, you can't I agree with that, at least. I kept telling people, no, unless they recast, I don't want another Indiana Jones. Did you see Harrison Ford running in Star Wars?
Did anybody?
Yes, well, kind of running, if you want to, you know, his old man running. It's like that scene. We young down Samuel L. Jackson. No, you didn't. You changed his face. Watch how he runs, because there's a scene where Brie Larson takes off and he's running right behind her like a 60-year-old man. You know?
We got to give it to him. He's still good at falling off of things.
That is true, and stubbing stuff. But here's the thing. He's in great shape for 80. We all know that.
Is he 80?
He's 78.
Yeah, I guess he's there.
We always have the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. That was so dull. I couldn't get into it. God bless you guys if you're fans. I just couldn't get into it. Harrison Ford is 20 years older than Eric and I, says Moranya, not me. Although, yeah, he's 28 years older than me. Unless they hand it over to the Asian boy in the early movies, I don't want it. Can we get a Ke-Huy Quan starring Indiana Jones film? Are we going to make Short Round the main Hey, look, that's the way they're going right now also. And there's something not a lot of people know about Data from the Goonies, who played Short Round in Indiana Jones, is he had been teaching stunts and martial arts. I know he's 50 at this point in time, but maybe, you know, come on. They did Indiana Jones 4 with what is damn near 60-year-old Indiana Jones. Why not?
He's too old, gets on younger, as you always say.
I agree. Ke-Huy Quan may be able to move around, but he's still 50. Yeah. Have Ford play a more cerebral role. Yeah, he could be the guy that's he's the old mentor at this point, as far as these movies are concerned. But it's the automatic thing. See, there's so many ideas. We're talking about some decent ideas right now. As a matter of fact, I don't want them to throw away that whole getting Data back, not Data, but Short Round back in. I don't think that's a bad one to go with. But we see it a lot. We see it a lot with, that movie's going to suck. Well, how do you know? Unless you watch it.
I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in this.
Okay.
And she is absolutely the bee's knees to the college-age kids now. If you are, how do I put this delicately? She's a darling of the left, and the left dominates the younger demo that all these franchises are going after. So yeah, I think she probably will be the new Indiana Jones, or whatever they're going to call her going forward. And
I'm looking to see who you're talking about.
She had some show on Netflix that my nephew would give her both his kidneys and his lungs. He just thinks she walks on water.
She was in the Solo movie.
Well, I think
she did the voice of the robot.
Yeah, she was and everybody cheered when she got killed, right? When she got blown up.
Oh yeah, that robot sucked.
But she did some show on Netflix that everybody loved, and if you are of a certain age and ideology.
Ah, okay. Fleabag.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I've never heard of that crap. I don't know. I just actually did exactly what we're talking about here. I just went, I never heard of that crap. I have no idea if it is crap. She's weird looking.
Well, it may not have been, but it's something that, again, I said, if you believe a certain way, you love stuff like that. If you don't, you probably don't care for it. And so I doubt if anybody on this stream would be big fans of it. But the audience they're trying to cultivate are, and so that's why you're seeing all this stuff going in that direction.
Now, I wouldn't call her unattractive, but she's not conventionally beautiful, I should say. She's a pretty girl, but not convention. She's not movie star conventions, I guess is what I'm getting at.
It's just girl next door.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like she could be related to Elizabeth Moss.
Indiana Jones is too politically incorrect for the post-2020 BLM riots. The series can't survive unless it's Blonde Man Bad. Temple of Doom, where Indiana got the stone back for the village. Hey, MK, what's up? Just watched your Pride video. Didn't like JLA Queer that much. Yeah, guys, I finally reviewed the Pride book. Thank you for watching it. It's please watch that video. The last video I made, one thing I learned this week above everything else that I learned this week, and it's been one of those weeks. The one thing I learned that's going to go with me to my grave is you guys don't give a about Captain Planet. That's the word. That is worse than my very first video. That's got less views than my very first video on that channel.
Was that on Sergeant Planet?
Yeah, I don't know. It's it was a finally getting around to the commission videos thing, and so I did it, and I thought, okay, well, the 90s kids will enjoy this. No, they won't.
I think Captain Planet's better enjoyed watching the visual versus just hearing someone talking about it.
The comic book, it was just kind of funny. Nobody cared about the comic book.
Oh yeah, animated series difference.
Here you go. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said the animated series is different because you had Tim Curry in there as a diabolical computer AI.
Yeah, who can? No, yeah, that makes sense. I hear they will de-age Ford for some of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they wanted to do like go back in time thing, but you can't have that 80-year-old man running around like he's freaking Indiana.
I hear he's been cryogenically frozen for the past 10 years. They're gonna thaw him out.
Hello to Zach Richmond. What's up? Let's see what happened to Shia LaBeouf. I mean, really, what happened to Shia LaBeouf? Shia LaBeouf, I guess, decided to become a celebrity over an actor, and that's too bad because, in all honesty, he's a good actor. And I would recommend anybody watch like Peanut Butter Falcon. That was a really good movie. He did that tank movie. Annoyed the people he worked with, but he was good in it.
I will just say this: for those who are hating on this movie, why? What's the point? You saw number 4, which to me doesn't exist, and you're going to say that this is going to be worse or bad, and you're shocked about it? Why do you care?
The one thing though that I don't get is the guy says, and Steven Spielberg isn't directing. It's like, wait a second, but James Mangold is. And once again, if you're a geek, I'll point to Logan. I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Logan. And even if they did, but I really did like the movie on the whole, would be followed after. It's just one of those things. People might not like an element here, might not like an element there, but they really did enjoy Logan. And he's got himself a list of good movies that he's directed.
I didn't care for Old Man Logan, so when this was coming in, like, it was. I also the reason I didn't like the movie because it was a nail in the coffin for the actor saying, "You know what, I'm done." I wanted Logan versus Deadpool. Why couldn't we get that?
Yeah, but you hated a movie because you didn't get another movie?
No, I hated the movie in general because it was boring and because it was.
Oh my Lord in heaven! I guess here we go. We got the one person that's willing to.
But sorry, let me remind you, I probably said this 3 or 4 times over the years, but your old man memory seems to slip. So this is the first time we've had the argument.
Alrighty.
Well, the other thing was it was focused on X23. That's the other thing. So
it was focused on Wolverine. X-23 was his MacGuffin.
It was all about her.
No, it was all about him. The story, everything was
it's about him dying.
him.
It was him dying to pass the torch to her so she could be Wolverine.
No, oh my Lord in heaven! Oh my gosh! Oh. You and I are just not gelling tonight, man.
why are they typing in caps over there?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Separate them.
Oh my goodness! What? Yeah.
Now I'm just saying things that's a trick.
There we go. You and I just aren't gelling today. Oh, I cannot believe I've never heard anybody say that Logan was a boring movie.
Because you filter out people's opinions other than your own.
Maranya, now I know how you feel when you threaten to pull these live streams over.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
it's
ladies
like
and gentlemen.
My 2 little brothers just fighting all day long.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, we need judges ruling here. Logan, good movie, bad movie. Let's hear it from you. Say a bad and by all means, prove me wrong. Say a bad word about Logan. It's cool. If you need to, if you want to. And by the way, are we buffering again on the goddamn thing?
I don't think so.
Okay, because my YouTube is. I was just wondering because it doesn't seem like I'm getting new
people watching.
Could be no, all of a sudden, all of the just now, all of the comments came in at once. I was like, wow, we haven't been getting anything. I watched the Captain Planet one. You did. Thank you to him. Almighty Jack says, I'm a millennium, but I don't have a clue who Breen is talking about. Either way, I've sworn off TV and movies because it only serves to entertain the lowest common denominator.
Or people that think they're highbrow.
Indiana Jones didn't like any side of politics. He cared for archaeological truths in history. Yes. Let's see. Now you make my OCD go.
Well, if you go to the triangle, yeah, I might come back, but man, I am one fat son of a buck when you get those close-ups.
Oh, okay, here you go.
Put the camera far away from you. You're fine.
I was far away. You can't get far enough away.
I promise you, I'm fatter than you. And
how many cameras is Ingleton using then?
Captain Planet was first really cringy SJW show that I recall, says Maranya. I like Captain Planet nowadays. If they remade it, each kid would be either gay, non-binary, or something like that. Well, yeah, it would be Powers of the Rainbow, like Care Bears. Shia LaBeouf lives in the woods now, creeping in the forest, killing people for sport. But hey, on the good side, Stargirl season 2, can't wait. Well, actually, I can because I'm afraid of what's going on with the. I really am worried about the CW-ness of Stargirl now. Zach saying RDV thought Logan was boring. The fuck,
Zach, I really hate the movie. Give us another super chat.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, I'm getting there. Let's see. And Zach says Logan is a masterpiece. RDV is high. Joe Rogers though does say that it was disjointed at times, but was a badass movie. I honestly have never seen Logan, so I can't comment, says Maranya. Wow. Okay. I do have
an anomaly in this group.
Say again?
What an anomaly in this group. Someone that won't comment on something because they haven't seen or read it.
I know, right? Wow. Are you a true geek? See, now I'm doing that mansplaining thing to her. You can't be a true geek without commenting and hating on something you haven't seen yet. Okay, let's be honest here. Is there anything ever that has to do with geek culture that you hated before you saw it? That you were like, you know what, this is going to suck. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be a part of it.
Ooh, there? I got one.
What's up?
I love comics. Just kidding. No.
Now you're just picking fights, motherfucker. Was there something that you were like, oh, and here's something, was there something that you said that about and then watched it and went, you know what? Not too shabby, not too bad.
I think I'm like at the point where I'm Marania. I don't hate things. I'm just done with movies. After being so used to being disappointed by everything, so it's the point where I'm like, I don't get excited anymore. It's not like the 90s or the 80s, It's like you just comes out, oh, it's gonna be great because you had so many good films coming out. And all of a sudden, it's just like, now we're getting the third reboot in 5 years.
Zach is saying he hated Captain Marvel before he saw it. Now I have a hard time hating something before I go to see it because, and I just attribute this to my time as a. By the way, this shirt makes me blend into this background. As my time as a projectionist, I think kind of made it so I can watch it even though I think it's bad, and I go in wanting every movie to just be a home run. Even Captain Marvel. By the time Captain Marvel came out, I didn't want to hear about it again at all. But I was like that with Black Panther too. By the time that Black Panther came out, I heard how it was going to cure cancer and how Jesus was going to come down and anoint it. To the point where I was done. I was done with Black Panther. I was done with Captain Marvel. I wanted them both though to hit it out of the park. And I thought Black Panther hit a ground rule double. And I thought Captain Marvel just tipped it right into the catcher's glove. That ball didn't even sail anywhere it just boom, right behind him. That just wasn't good. Let's see. I was annoyed at Captain Marvel getting a solo movie without earning it, and then they passed up Black Widow, says Maranya.
Ooh, you know what?
The Galaxy movie was a movie that I did not expect to be good, says Indie Comic Jones.
When I went, remember everybody's talking about crap about how they hated Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. When I finally got access to like Disney Plus stuff, I sat down and I watched it, mm-hmm. And I was just like, I thought it was the beginning of last year. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It's just like average. Yeah. It wasn't.
I think you're right. I absolutely agree with you on that.
And I feel like that's what a lot of movies. Dark Fate was that too. With Terminator, like there were scenes I liked, and there were scenes where it was like, okay, whatever. But that's pretty much what cinema has come down to. It's like you occasionally get a blip, and it goes back to being average. The same. Everyone has to be the same.
I think I watched. I was going to do some movie reviews, so I made up my list. By the way, these are all the movies that came out this year. And I used to do this on the regular, and I've got all my grades. I grade them A, B, C, that kind of stuff. And I think there was only one, maybe two A's. And a lot of them are just C's. A lot of them are very average. But I gave an A to the Zack Snyder Cut because I love that. And then I gave an A- to A Quiet Place 2. Oh, and then I gave an A to In the Heights, which I just saw. And I really enjoyed that movie. But, yeah, it's a very average year for movies this year. Let's see. But as far as Force Awakens is concerned, I watched and I was like, all right. They just retold the fourth film, but it was entertaining. Okay, it didn't break any new grounds. As a matter of fact, it tread over some old stuff, but I didn't hate it. I wasn't even hating it when I saw the trailer.
I'm trying. Okay, here's an example of movies coming out, and I'm being a huge fan of Ghostbusters. This new one's coming out, and I'll get a scene. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I see a scene. It's like Junior Ghostbuster flashbacks, BBC cartoon, where they focus on a group, not even the Ghostbusters. They're focusing on the little kids. So I'm like, every time I see a kid with a proton pack, I'm being like, dude, you'd be on the ground with a move. You're like a turtle. There's no way you'll lift that up. There's heavy for the guys. So when I see this, I don't want to hate on it, but I'm also like, it just kills me on the inside. It's just like, and I can see those people who love the original Star Wars fans, seeing what they did to Han Solo and all that stuff. I sympathize with you, but the thing is that I'm not going to rant and rave over it. It's done. It's over with. I got stuff I can go back and do it. Same with Batman today. I don't like the Robert Pattinson choice. You know what? I can go back and read comics. I can do anything else. To dwell on it for 9 months. and they keep dwelling on it is just ridiculous.
That goes on for something
years.
you hear a lot. I've heard that because I'm a Stephen King fan. As far as his writing concerned, he's a dick. But I would see a movie and everybody would say, "Oh, the movie ruined the book." There was an interview with Stephen King where somebody said, "Do you think the movies ruined the books?" He goes, "No, they're right here." You know, if you don't like the movie, you do have the comics. If you don't like the movie, you do have the book. It's not a package deal. Now, some people say, "Well, I can't now read this book without thinking about the." Well, that's on you. You know, I'm gonna take the blame away from anything that the movie people did and say that's on you. If you read Infinity Gauntlet, you're going to get a different story than the Infinity War and Endgame. It's going to have similar elements, but for the most part, it's a damn different story. And that's the same thing. You're not going to tell me that Dark Phoenix, the movie, is going to ruin the Dark Phoenix saga. If anything ruined the Dark Phoenix saga, it was resurrecting Jean Grey in the comics. Let's see. MK says, I judged one movie before I saw it, and it was Ghostbusters 2016. It looked bad from the trailer, and when I saw it, I was like, yep, that sucked. Yeah, me too. I got to tell you, by the time that movie came out, I went in fingers crossed. Okay, I hope this is good, and wow, it did suck. I got to disagree with Tehillium, though. I was not a fan of Demon Days, the comic. Let's see. Sandman with PC Death. No interest, says Jerry Smith. I try not to go into things with high expectations, says Joe Rogers. Yeah, it's the best way to go about things. Let's see.
Yeah.
Force Awakens was weird. It had good foundation, but it felt too much like it was copying A New Hope. Yep.
You know, I still haven't watched the 2016 Ghostbusters. I've seen small clips here and there. And it just made me realize, you know what? Why want to waste 2 hours or even an hour watching this? You know, I know I'm probably not going to end up liking it. You know, that's apart from reading reviews on it. It's just the point. It's like, you can spend, hey, people can do what they want. I'm not telling you can't make a bajillion videos. Go ahead. You know, I know you're going for the clicks. You're not doing it because you actually hate the movie. Maybe you do. Who knows? But I personally would rather just read like 10,000 comics than wasting 10,000 hours, you know, or even more, just, you know, venting about something I hate. One little thing. At the point it makes you physically ill. That's what
that's going too far. I mean, we've got an entire channel's worth of videos that go off on we hate in this. So
I know.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to talk about things I hate.
Yeah. But like I said, like if you want to do that, that's cool. If people want to listen to that, that's their right. Their choice. You know, I look at that and I roll my eyes and I move on. I look for something else that can focus my time on. Especially when you start getting older up in the age. I'm only 36, but I mean, like you guys are 50. You're halfway to dead. You gotta start planning shit, you know, because you got all around your medical, all your pills that you gotta take. So you only have a few hours to read comics and watch movies before you fall asleep at 6 o'clock at night.
Eric, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What the do I let him talk for?
And the sad thing is he'll be talking like this long after we're gone. The only solace I take is we won't be here to hear it.
No, when I get to your age, I'll be censoring the people. I won't be letting them talk about me.
The beginning of the bad fan movie trend was fantastic. Oh, that was Fanforstic in Ghostbusters 2016. Well, I don't know if that's the beginning of the bad fan movie because I remember Swamp Thing Returns with Heather Locklear, and that kid who had the Southern accent that was absolutely ridiculous. It was. I remember that one. I remember Man Thing on TV. Yeah, there's a lot of really bad fan movies, but of the big budget fan movies, Catwoman came out for Fanforstic, and Catwoman was how can I put this gently? I can't Catwoman was absolutely an abomination. The worst thing about Catwoman is now they will never make a Catwoman movie because they think that it won't make money, even though whatever that wasn't Catwoman.
And it helped to go into that, to watch that movie with that mindset too.
That it wasn't a Catwoman movie?
Yeah, because honestly, I didn't mind Fan Four Stick because I just refused to treat it as a Fantastic Four movie. They were just people that happened to have the same names and looked, I'm not even going to say vaguely similar because they didn't even do that.
Let's see. Almighty Jack saying we don't want to see your man thing on TV. Well, then don't watch the Captain Planet video. See if I care. Nobody's watching it anyway.
Yeah.
What did you do in that video?
I wore the outfit. Okay. Are you happy now? I blew myself and I wore the outfit.
Since Eric got me to read some Walt Simonson Thor, I look at Loki now just being like, hey, it's just going to be a totally not related comic book form. That's how I watch Loki now.
Okay, so here's a question, and we're going to put this to the chat also. Because I'll answer it honestly as well. And Swamp Thing Returns is a good, bad movie. I agree with you, Joe. It is a lot of fun. MK is asking, was there any good Fantastic Four movie? And Zombo is saying, I don't blame you, RDV. It would be different if people you trusted were saying Ghostbusters 2016 was good. That will never come from that. No, that movie sucked. But what do you guys think? Fantastic Four, were any of the Fantastic Four movies good?
I will say not overly good, but the Roger Corman at the best Doctor Doom. But the best Fantastic Four was that first one, not the Silver Surfer one, the first movie, 2015, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was probably the best team movie for Fantastic Four.
It's like I say, sometimes you can watch a movie that you know it's really problematic, and I use that word the way normal people would use that word, where you're looking at it and you go, okay, yeah, the direction's not on, this is a little bit off. That first Fantastic Four movie, I thought was just a heaps of fun. I enjoyed it. Good? That's a different question. It was okay. But I thought it was really enjoyable. I did have an uncomfortable moment in that movie theater because I took my daughter at the time, what was that, 2005? So she was about, I guess, 11, maybe rounding about 12 or something. And there's the scene where Johnny Storm's skiing in the mountain and he turns in the torch for a while and he lands in this, he's stands up and there's this puddle of water around him. Obviously it's supposed to say he melted the snow, and he's shirtless all the way to below the belt line. And I'm sitting there, everybody's laughing, and I hear my daughter go, "Oh." And I was like, well, she's not gay. Because I was like, really? She goes, oh. like a ding. I was like, okay. There you are. Let's see. I tuned out after the first one being so boring, says Almighty Jack. What was wrong with the first two Fantastic Four movies? Not perfect, but very enjoyable. That's what I say, Jerry. They were fun. Not particularly good, I think, but actual fun films. I like the Roger Corman FF. It was true to the comics. It was the most true, probably. As far as the relationships, it had the real Dr. Doom in it. I don't know what that crash test dummy was. And yes, I know 1,000 people call it the crash test dummy, but it looked like a crash test dummy. What? How? I don't know. It was the Elementals versus the crash test dummies there, Eric. That's the movie you were watching when you weren't thinking of it as Fantastic Four.
I'm getting very hopeful they let John Krasinski and his wife become Reed and Sue, because the way I'm watching A Quiet Place while he's doing all the scientific, or the wiring and all that stuff, we call it soldering the wires. Yeah. Dude, every time I see him, he looks more and more like Reed. in that movie.
Yeah, you can almost see it, but unfortunately, she put the kibosh on it. She says that it's not happening. So
get a new wife. He can get. Come on, he can do it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone liked the one with Michael B. Jordan. Nobody. Yeah, I of course
I have no idea who that is.
Michael B. Jordan. He's the kid who played Creed. He's the guy who played Johnny Storm in Phantom Force-Stick.
Let me quote Ted. He's the black guy in every movie.
Samuel Jackson?
Yeah,
it was
all the other movies.
Michael, yeah. That'll be the line in Ted 3. Now, the biggest thing to me, and as far as like the 4 members of the Fantastic Four, in the 2 movies that got big screen treatment, I liked Michael Chiklis, but he was too small.
Yeah.
Now I know Ben isn't Hulk sized, but now since everything can be CGI'd to where it's 99.99% realistic looking, he needs to be considerably larger than the other 3 members, and he really wasn't. So that's whoever they get to play him. That's they take that into consideration. So they can do it the CGI easy with obviously with the torch and the stretching and everything like that. So let's get the thing right this time.
So now we talked about the Fantastic Four. Of course, that was one of the ones. The Phantom Force-Stick, by the way, is a movie that I think got a lot of hate before it started as well. And I want to talk about the Batman because Venkman brought it up. Because I hear that as well. Anytime a new image comes up, anytime maybe a clip or we filmed this scene today, that kind of thing comes up. Don't hear a lot of people, and I understand the circles that this channel started in, but I see a lot of it also. Oh wow, that looks like and I'm thinking, guys, are you not aware that this is Batman in the beginning? This is not gadgets out the rear end. Batman, Catwoman isn't Catwoman yet. She's still wearing just like a regular outfit, kind of cat suit.
Is it year 1?
I'm gonna give the people that are doing a lot of the complaining at least a little bit of cover here. It seems like this movie, from Robert Pattinson's attitude on down, it's like they're doing these making these announcements, showing these things, almost daring people to have a problem with it. Kind of reminds me of like the first cousin to the way Brie Larson was treating Captain Marvel.
Okay.
They were basically, she was baiting the audience. Then her acolytes were doing the same. And you got Robert Pattinson saying, I'm not going to work out. I don't even know if I want to do this. And so, this is one time where the fans, kind of have a little bit of ammunition to run with, as opposed to other times when they just blanketly hate something because it's almost like an instinct at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this could turn out to be the best movie, the best Batman movie ever. But like I said, they're not really going out of their way to give people the warm fuzzies going into it. You
know what, though? I don't hear that about Colin Farrell, and I don't hear that about this new Riddler that we're seeing. It is about the Batman and the Catwoman, which is a problem because the freaking movie isn't called The Riddler.
There you go.
So yeah, I get where you're coming from. Especially, it kind of reminds me of what I was saying about Game of Thrones. We knew for 3 years that the 2 writers, Dave and Busters or something like that, they didn't want to have anything to do with Game of Thrones. They wanted to get out of Game of Thrones. And my whole thinking for the 3 years we were waiting for the ending, it was, well, then you're fired. You go. We want somebody here who's going to care, who's going to return the show to what it was. And I'm not one of the ones that bash Game of Thrones every day. I didn't like a lot of what happened in the 8th season, but I wasn't a complete hater either. I thought they did some really good things in that season. But at the very least, I did see that they just needed to go. If you're not interested, go. And Pattinson, if he wasn't interested in throwing himself 100% into the role, have a good day. Drop the role. Just let somebody who's going to put their entire heart into it. Which I would be kind of disappointed, because Pattinson had proven in independent films that he could be a badass. He can act really well. So I was kind of interested in his take. I still am interested in his take. Maybe he is thinking, okay, you know what? I can let the suit do most of the workout for me. But yeah, I want somebody who is living, breathing that particular role when they go into it. I did like watching Christian Bale make sure that when he was out in public, Bruce Wayne was a different character than Batman. So that's actually something I didn't think Michael Keaton did.
I'm looking at the writer of this actually, the Batman. So that's why I look at it too. I also look at who's writing it too, because you know it's from the same guy who wrote The Town, 12 Strong, Bad Boys for Life. You know, he's also been doing lately. He just did Top Gun Maverick, which hasn't come out yet, but he did the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2. So
Bloodfather. He's about 50-50 then.
and Matt Reeves is also writing too. So because that's what I look at too. I want to see who's writing it, because dude, if this would have been a Guy Ritchie film writing this, oh my god, I think it would have been a whole different story. I think people had more faith in it, depending on who's.
Something else about Robert Pattinson, he's worked so hard to separate himself from the Twilight franchise, and commit himself to independent movies and show that he can be a serious actor. And it's almost like he accepted this role, not realizing, oh, I just signed up for another franchise that has a fan base that can be every bit as loud, vocal, unreasonable as the one I've spent years trying to get away from.
Yep.
It's almost like, maybe if this isn't for you, he maybe should have excused himself while there was still time.
Almighty Jack is saying Robert Pattinson probably isn't going to be bad. People just hated him because of Twilight.
Not if he doesn't want to be doing it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Let's see. I don't know. It sounds like Patterson doesn't respect Batman. That could be. It could be like, it's a comic book movie. But we've seen comic book movies being elevated. Let's see. It's kind of a shame, because he really is a talented actor. If you've seen him in anything besides Twilight, he tried as much as possible to separate himself. I'd say go see The Lighthouse. Or, well, you don't have to go see it. It's on Prime. But I'd say check that one out. Pattinson is Batman with PC Commissioner Gordon, no interest. Well, we don't know if he's PC. We just know they race swapped him. That I think is going to be a big difference to me. If they play him as some sort of SJW character, then that's going to be bad. But the actor that they got, I do like. I don't like the race swap because it's unnecessary. But the actor that they got is very good. So I'm there.
My other question is, how tall is he compared to the other characters in this movie? Is he going to be like the same height as them? Because
I thought he was over 6. I thought Pattinson was a tall guy.
I don't know. Like I said, I know Colin Farrell's tall too. I mean, if Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin, he better be shorter than Batman.
Colin Farrell's not a tall guy.
But I was just saying, my point is, Batman's always been drawn as a towering and posing figure, in the comic books. So Riddler's always been drawn skinnier and skinnier throughout the years. So if all of a sudden we get a jacked Riddler, it's like, and Batman looks like he's just a guy in a suit, it's not going to be believable.
Everything is changed a little bit from any version of Batman we know. So I mean, we're going to get a good looking Penguin, and we probably will. We'll probably get a superhero bodied Riddler. It's like we're in the upside down Gotham.
Kevin Porter, man, when I see him,
Colin Farrell's my height, and Robert Pattinson's 6'1". So
maybe they'll do camera tricks to make him look shorter.
5'10", that's fine. 5'10" to 6'1", that's fine. I got to tell you, the best Penguin performance I've ever seen, God rest Burgess Meredith, was the dude from Gotham. Yep. And he's not exactly a midget. He did the role very well.
I know, but he also didn't have a Batman with him, though.
Let's see. I don't know that he was so much. Okay, so let's see. Pattinson not wanting to put the effort in for the role makes me not want to see the movie. Lazy entitled actors need to go. But, well, that's the thing. He doesn't want to work out, but how is his acting? I'm willing to give him a benefit of a doubt. I want to see because I like what I saw in the previews. So, you know, I like that little brief fight scene where it shows him breaking people. Okay. All right. Let's see it. Yeah. I'm willing. I'm in for Batman.
I like, if you ever seen Kevin Porter in the costume from the fan stuff, you know, Batman in the Sun, he's like 6'5" and like built.
Well, there's always somebody better.
I know. I'm just saying.
Or that we think is, because in all honesty, I thought the dude who played Jupiter's Legacy, I actually thought Josh Duhamel should have been Captain America, but Chris Kringle did fine.
I want the Superman workout because Batman's supposed to be at his physical fullest peak, you know, as far as everything, you know.
Like I said, they're going to let the suit do the work if he didn't get no, and we don't know. He might have talked about it publicly, and then somebody said, "Bull crap! You get your ass in shape. It's in your contract."
Oh, it's open Mike night, and here comes Mike saying Pattinson not wanting to work out was a troll.
Oh, it was a troll. Okay, hold on just a sec, because there was somebody. I'm sorry, I didn't. I saw the question and it went by. Here we go. MK is asking, do you guys think Batista would make a good Bane? Yeah. Let me think about it. Yeah. Yes. People like, oh, hold on there. I can't do a Spanish accent. Hold on, Batman. Trump sucks. Okay, now we're fighting. All right, let's go. I think absolutely. Would it be nice to have a Bane that really looked like Bane? And no disrespect to Tom Hardy, I thought, talk about a great acting job, but he's also my height. So,
what about that guy? What's the guy's name? The one that's married to Sofia Vergara.
Oh, yeah. But there's one big difference. He's Italian, and Bautista is Hispanic.
But if you can't get Batista, I'm looking at somebody who has the build. You know?
Yeah. Batista definitely has it. I think he's interested. I heard rumblings that Batista was interested in playing Bane, and all I could say is, please put him in. I heard that he actually took acting lessons to make sure that he could do the stuff that was asked of him in Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course he got mad because the stuff that was asked of him never came to play because he ended up becoming Marvel's comic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Like the Hulk, the first Hulk movie was too big, then toned down a bit in the second movie. I love Danny DeVito's Penguin, says MK.
I like Bane from Batman and Robin. He actually looked like the comic one. I mean, you had the tubes and everything with Poison Ivy. You had Bane in there. Small, because he didn't have any speaking parts. Everyone forgets he's in that movie.
And he was green. I didn't like the color. I didn't like making him green. But the look, he looked very comic book accurate aside from the green.
Yeah. Building everything.
And that's the kind of thing we need. But Bane is an intelligent person.
Well, yes.
So I think Bautista could play that. Let's see. I don't want to see Batman chowing down on pints of Ben and Jerry. But, if you believe what Mike is saying, that was just trolling. The best Riddler was played by Wally Wingert. Is that a voice actor? Or I don't know who Wally Wingert is.
Right? I don't
either. Tom Hardy, best Bane, no Magnelli.
Wally Wingert, is that the Riddler from Gotham?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe. Well, he did very well. That kid from Gotham.
Oh, even the Penguin was good too. If you're going to year one, get those guys back. I want the Gotham Penguin, the Gotham Riddler.
Wouldn't that be nice? They were good in the roles. I'm absolutely pro Gotham as far as that TV show is concerned. That was a movie or a TV show. I know some people were like, that was something I heard people hating before it came out anyway. Batman without Batman? Well, no, it's when I heard about it, I thought it was going to be like the Gotham City PD. What was that?
Gotham Central.
Gotham Central. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. When I heard about that, I was like, okay, so it's going to be Gotham Central, but before there's a Batman. And then when I started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, no, this isn't Gotham City before there's Well, it was. But this is Gotham City without Batman. Like, right. What if all of these people showed up and there was no Batman to fight them? What ended up happening, of course, there was created a need for Batman, and that's why he shows up at the end. But otherwise, that was the show. And I know a lot of people, one, hated the idea of Batman without Batman, and then afterwards hated the fact that all these people were showing up before Batman was a thing, and that just turned off a lot of people. Same with Smallville. I know Smallville, as soon as Lois Lane turned up, they turned off because Lois Lane doesn't show up in Smallville. She shows up in Metropolis.
Yeah, well, but that gave us Erica Durance and Kristen Kruk every week.
Yes.
That's not a reason to turn off.
Well, that's the thing. That's Smallville. What everybody else is talking about are the Superman comics.
Yeah, and again, that's when you do a show like this, it's inevitable. I mean, if you were going to have a complaint about Gotham, and I didn't because I loved it, each year just got progressively crazier to where in the 4th and 5th season, it's like they took every crazy idea they had, threw it in a blender, took the lid off, and then hit start. And wherever everything spit out, that's what they did. I thought it was fantastic. It was entertaining. That's what a show's supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. My Blacklist Universe, Mike, is saying Gotham was the best DC live action anything. Well, there is the Dark Knight, which is freaking amazing, and I do remember the way I felt when I first saw Superman fly back in 1978, but I don't know. Gotham is really good. Then again, there's Smallville. I don't know if I would really have to think about if I agree with that one, though.
Well, my problem with the DC movies is that
hey, Miss So, how you doing?
Warner Brothers kept doing the same thing over and over again and realized it's not working. They finally figured it out with Wonder Woman, the first one, and with Aquaman. Those did well. Why don't they look at what actually is a successful franchise part of there is the DC animated movies? Look at those stories. Start taking some of those. I know they're not completely comic book accurate. Take those, adapt them into live action.
Well, because Warner Brothers had their gun and they were going, so what do you think freaking worked? They do that every time. Warner Brothers has pulled victory or defeat from the jaws of victory so many times. They will absolutely stumble before they get to the finish line, even though they have a clear picture to success. And that might be why they're dropping the Zack Snyderverse, is because they saw that lightening it up, making the movies a little bit more not dour,
more campy than Marvel works. Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious, please not Marvel. I don't want dour superheroes, but we don't need quippy either. That's Marvel. Let them be Marvel, but
well, look at the Justice League animated series. You look how Batman, the portrayals in there, like, Batman, whenever someone like a while less or whoever Flash was would make a joke, and you look at Batman, he'd be grumpy. You can keep certain humor in there in the stuff, but still make it serious, Like Justice League War, when they all came together. Like, honestly, that's what the Snyder Cut was, going against Darkseid. When he finally got the full entire cut, it actually made more sense. Otherwise, before that, it was just so jarbled up. The 2017 original cut that they did with it, I didn't like that one. But I watched this one, even though it's 4 hours. I wish it was only 2 hours. I mean, you could have cut down some of that, took out a lot of different parts you didn't really need in there. But
they could have cut the Snyder Cut down just by trimming scenes. They didn't even have to get rid of any scenes. No. They just could have cut a few down.
Make it a 2-part. Why does it have to be one movie? Why can't it be Justice League Part 1, Part 2?
think that was the original plan, but no, the next one was going to be the dark side stuff. Either way, I loved it. Best movie of the year so far. Let's see. Erica Durance is better than Kristen Cooke, says Zach Richmond. Probably the worst thing about Gotham was Jada Pinkett coming and hamming it up, and even that was entertaining. You're right about that. She showed up and she goes, "Wow, this scenery looks really good. Let me get some A1 sauce." I love Durant's Lois, smart, sassy military brat. Some versions of her, they miss some of those elements, says MK. And Joe saying Smallville with Lois is when it started to get good, but before that, Clark was fighting meteor freaks. Season 2 is when they stopped the monster of the week, and that's when they started getting the story with the cave and he's from another planet and all that kind of stuff. Season 1 was very much monster of the week. Let's see. Man of Steel was good, says Rhaegar. I actually don't mind that movie. I agree with you. Okay, fair. Dark Knight was good, and I wasn't thinking back to the 80s, says Mike. Ash is saying there is no good FF movie. All righty. Actually, I like Jada's role in Gotham. She was delightfully evil. Barbara, what's her name, and her lesbian sidekick were lame. Oh, my gosh, yes. Yes. Like, they were setting her up to become Harley Quinn, and then they got afraid of it or something. I agree with you. She just, after the serial killer thing with Rocky's kid,
yeah,
I think her story was done, and they just kept trying to put her in there somehow.
She never bothered me. I'm glad they dropped the Barbara Renee romance when they just got rid of Renee and was it Crispus from the first season?
Yeah,
they just disappeared and never came back. I kind of liked her. Tabitha, I think.
Yeah.
What's his name? Sister. The fact that she's a 13 probably didn't hurt, but
yeah,
and that actress had played nothing but goody two shoes parts up until that point, and she did really well playing a soulless killing machine.
And she also taught Selena how to use a whip, so she had some use.
I think her story just got told.
I think
the character in the TV show, it just got told.
I think Ivy probably had the best part.
Which Ivy? There's about 7 of them.
The aged up one.
And then they still kept switching out the actors.
Yeah, I know.
Gee, Ivy, did you go back in your pod? You look different again.
It was Peyton List, but not the Peyton List that's on Cobra Kai.
Oh, is the Peyton List from Mad Men the one on Cobra Kai?
No. That's the one from was that show with Deb, the Disney actress? She's on the Cobra Kai one.
Because
yeah.
I was say one of them was one of Roger Sterling's wives on Mad Men.
That was probably the older one from Mad Men. She's the one that played Ivy. The older Ivy.
So Zach is wondering, are they actually dropping the Snyderverse? Because Dwayne Johnson is trying to keep it alive because, of course, he's got his Black Adam movie. I don't think Black Adam's in any kind of danger. 1, it's The Rock. 2, Shazam was one of the movies that got good word of mouth, even though it didn't make the bank.
And they're already filming the second one.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I think if they had moved that movie up to August, it would have killed. Or if they moved it into Christmas, I think it would have killed. They should have moved it away. It was like 1 week before Captain Marvel came out and only 2 weeks before the Endgame came out. It was doomed to fail. You could say, oh, well, Shazam might beat Captain Marvel. Okay, but there was no way in hell it was going to exist. They gave it at most a 2-week run before it was going to get trounced. People who would have gone to see Shazam would have gone to see Endgame anyway.
At this point in the Batman movies, live actions, I'm done because they're just going to keep rebooting them more and more. Another actor instead of because I want to see Jason Todd, I want to see Tim Drake, but you're never going to see them because we needed someone who's going to stay on, and if it doesn't do well, or
nobody's going to stay on for 15, 20 years that it's going to take to do those in the movies. No,
you don't have to take 15 years. You can just say, "Here, this is who he is." Boom. I'm sure people have watched the cartoons or read the comics. Mm-hmm. If they haven't, we'll give you a 15-minute intro with who this character is.
I think that would be awesome in any case. You don't need to tell the origin story of Batman ever again. It's like Superman, you never need it. Spider-Man, you never need it.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to maybe start a movie at the carnival.
Well, because
you have Dick Grayson happen, or
we have origins, but yeah, it's already been told. If you're not sure who this character is, go back and watch the original movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much available information for people to look up. We have freaking Google. It tells you who Batman is. Bruce Wayne's Batman. So, I mean, if you're clueless, you can go look. But common sense does not belong in anything that's Hollywood.
MK is saying, did you guys hear about Five Nights at Freddy's creator not bending girls' knee to anyone? Now they want to cancel him. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, guy.
He's not bending his knee to the Me Too people?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I agree with Tehillim. We are missing a Hawkman movie. That would be so cool.
We could get a Hawkman on the Stargirl. Remember, he reincarnates.
We got a good Hawkman on. We got a good Hawkman on Smallville.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. The guy played at Jane Jackson in the Stargate series.
Yeah,
I thought he was really good. I would love to see Hawkman done right.
Michael Shanks. That's what it was at.
Yeah.
What's Five Nights at Freddy's?
It's a porno. Go watch it.
Oh, shut up.
Apparently it's a video game or something. Some guy is doing security and he's got cameras he has to keep an eye on, and the killer robots are coming. Every time he turns the camera off of them, they move closer or something. That's how my kids describe it.
Yeah, and he's got limited battery power, so that if you use things, it drains your battery. You have to make it like you're holding their shit without dying. Because if you have the door closed, it drains the battery. If you have a light on, it drains the battery. So it's basically like a puzzle game.
Let's see. I heard about that. I was not expecting to be a fan of the FNAF creator today, but here we are. Let's see. The first hour of Fantastic Four was a good Fantastic Four movie, says Comic Works. Well, there you go. Yeah, I've never played Five Nights at Freddy yet, so
it's a jump scare game, you know, and it's a simple premise, you know. It's not too elaborate, you know.
So I'm guessing the creator doesn't have his pronouns in his bio or a BLM fist on his
Nobody
picture.
should.
He had a female robot in it probably, and that's probably what triggered them, because females don't kill people.
We also have Bing and other Google alternatives to look up characters from Marvel and DC, says Dominic. And hello to Jimmy. Let's see. Oh, he voted for Trump.
Well, that'll do it.
A lot of smart people did.
The best way to describe it is imagine you're at Chuck E. Cheese and those robots come to life at night and they try to kill you.
If kind of like the Banana Splits movie.
If you're eating at Chuck E. Cheese, you're rooting for the robots.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll tell you what, that is. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I the last time I had Chuck E. Cheese was over 20 years ago. My kids went to a birthday party, and we were all sitting there being. I was the what do you call it? Chaperone. Yeah. And they brought out the pizza. I took a bite, and I'm like,
so
nope,
my only question in that game is that, like, if you survive the first night, why would you go back for a second night, seeing that these things come alive? I would quit my job.
Yes, so Eloise is saying, yeah, he heard about the creator is getting targeted because he's a Christian Republican and donated to Trump's campaign. Damn.
Oh well.
The tolerant left.
Where?
Why couldn't the Fortnite guy? Why didn't Fortnite do that? They should have done that.
Oh goodness. This is fun times. What else? Oh yeah, we talked about everything at this point. The other thing you wanted to talk about was the Batman Harley Quinn controversy that's going on. I don't think it's a controversy. I think what the guy said was kind of silly and stupid, that heroes don't do that. I'm going to say what's going on for those of you who don't. But apparently the Harley Quinn cartoon, which is way off the freaking rails, Anyway, wanted to have a scene of Batman and Catwoman having relations, and Batman was orally fixated on Catwoman's kitty parts. And they said, no, you can't do that. And they said, the write-up says that it's because heroes don't do that. But it goes a little bit deeper. That was kind of stupid to say.
Yeah.
But the part where we've got to sell toys, that I can understand. You don't want Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman in a Warner Brothers sanctioned thing doing that kind of stuff. I get it. I get it. That being said, they sell Harley Quinn toys to young kids. So what you gonna do there, guys?
Yeah, he said
Harley Quinn has been in that cartoon forever and a day doing all sorts of stuff. So while I do agree, yes, you don't want Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman doing that kind of stuff. Don't tell us this is because of anything other than, oh my gosh, this is it. Just it doesn't gel with me. It's a little bit on the BS side because, like I said, they sell Harley Quinn to kids. Harley Quinn right now is in DC Superhero Girls. And she is on HBO Max in one of the raunchiest cartoons you're ever going to see.
You tell me you wouldn't buy that statue?
I've got a wife. No, I wouldn't.
Hey, Venkman, off topic real quick. Is your state fully reopened?
Pretty much, except for Milwaukee, where you're pretty much in the gulag.
Okay, so you are, because that's why I'm asking. I'm watching the Brewers right now, and they're having a fantastic year, and there is nobody in that stadium.
That's Milwaukee. Right now, it's pretty much up to the storage owners if they want to allow people in without masks, but or require everybody wear the mask, regardless if you had your shots or not.
Well, there's nobody wearing masks except for in the dugout, and that's another story.
Yeah.
But there I don't even think there's 10,000 people in that building.
So
they are in first place.
I like these comments. There does seem to be a double standard, but of course it's Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman who they're really going to protect. Haven't watched the Harley cartoon yet.
A little bit so. From
what I saw, it's funny.
Oh, it is. It makes fun of everything. It makes fun of James Gordon, all those guys. It's raunchy to begin with, but yet
Zach saying, how about we don't put any comic character in scandalous situations?
The other thing. You know, the other argument I've been hearing is people saying, well, they shouldn't do that because what if a kid watches? I'm like, then it's on the parents. It's not the company. You cannot blame Warner Brothers because your kids saw Batman going down on Catwoman. Ooh, that's offensive. It's rated
Comic Jones saying Batman 69. Yeah, I'm reading The Stand by Stephen King and love that he writes for the everyday man. You don't need to have a 8 million IQ. It's just good fun. The Stand is brilliant. It's my favorite book by Stephen King. I hope you're reading the extended version. It is the better version of them. I really dug his stuff. I got to admit, I kind of hit a wall. Like he did Insomnia and some ghost book after that, and I think. I forgot what it was called. And then he did an audio. I think he did an audio. No, that was before that. But I think after that, I started kind of trailing off. I bought the books. I just haven't read them. I've got stuff like Under the Dome and Lacey's Story. I just haven't read it.
Oh yeah,
but I did read everything he made up until and including that ghost book that I can't. They made a movie with Pierce Brosnan. I read it. I don't remember the title though.
Do you remember the other double standard comment is that Batman and Catwoman had sex on a rooftop and a kid's book, a comic book. Remember, kids can buy those too.
Yep.
But no one said anything about there.
They didn't show it. They just started stripping the next thing.
You knew
showed curtains waft on the rooftop, and then they.
We don't know. Do they actually show it in this, or is just like you see like a side and it pans away?
My guess is this how it's gonna do. They're gonna hear you're gonna be seeing Catwoman in the bed, and you'll see a little ruffling, and then Batman's gonna pop up, and you'll see his pointy little ears and everything. It's gonna be Batman, not Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. The Five Nights deserves the hate. The SJWs are sitting his way due to self-made, so he can't be targeted. Rhaegar saying he's all Harley Quinned out. That is not uncommon. Remember when Batman and no. No, I don't. I still think that's kind of funny because I had a better time at that movie than most people because I just thought it was a separate cartoon. Go figure.
That rooftop scene?
Oh. Well, yeah, it was the write-up. Like, I didn't know they were making it part of the movie. And in all honesty, it doesn't even fit as part of the movie. It's different tone. It's different in every freaking way, shape, or form. Even the color palette of the Killing Joke versus the Batgirl cartoon is different. And the write-up in the newspaper for Orlando here, it said there's going to be a cartoon before the Killing Joke. So when I went in, I just thought it was a whole different thing.
So so Harley Quinn can only go down on Dick Grayson in the Harley Quinn movie, animated movie by Warner Brothers. Oh, but but still, Batman can't go down to Catwoman.
But here's the thing: if Dick Grayson were drawn as Robin, they wouldn't have allowed it. I'll bet you money they wouldn't have allowed Harley Quinn to have hooked up in any way, shape, or form with Robin.
Dude was tied to that bed.
because Robin is famous worldwide, and Nightwing is famous for people who play video games.
Was there even an outrage for that too? The whole scene with Harley Quinn taking advantage of him?
No, nobody saw that freaking movie, but us, the comic book geeks. Nobody saw that movie.
I actually saw that.
Yeah, but you're a comic geek. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen about 3% of the cartoon movies.
And also this Harley Quinn series is rated mature TV, not for kids. It says right on there. So if your kid's watching it, you're the dick. Not the studio.
I'm absolutely with you on this one, man. Seriously.
It's like Marty says, quit baby-proofing everything. Let kids experience things. Hey, I saw Scramble stuff when I was a kid. Did it ruin me? No.
That was a boo. That was a boo. There it goes. There it is again. There it is again. Yeah. Yeah, and then you would get that special moment where it was like, and I can see clearly.
The weirdest part, I had no idea what was going on, but I heard 70s disco music, but I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I remember before they had these HBO guides that you could flip through and see all the movies, and we would go through it and mark all the ones that said BN or N, because that was brief nudity or nudity. And we'd be like, okay, this is going to be on at 10 o'clock. We got to go. Yeah.
Are you guys in bed? Yes, Mom.
The Wicked Lady starring Faye Dunaway. Yay. I watched so many movies that were just boring as hell because it said BN on it. Yeah.
You couldn't fast
The Wicked Lady with Faye Dunaway, that was Marina Sirtis movie, so that was special time.
Bo Jackson, wasn't she in the movie 10?
Look, I know I get names wrong.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
but there was Bo something. I don't know what it was.
Yes, it was Bo Jackson, because Bo knows everything.
It was BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
Who was it? There's because once she runs Summerfest down here, she's responsible.
Yeah, it was Bo Jackson.
Derek.
I think you should argue the out of that, by the way.
Now you know why she doesn't get work.
Because she's 90?
No, she's still very attractive, and she's about 60 now. She's very, very young and 10.
She doesn't get work because Batman's going down on her. That's why.
Well, no, she's got the wrong letter next to her name.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, I remember in Tommy Boy she was looking good. That was 20 years ago, though. I haven't seen her recently. I remember seeing for the first time like 8 years old, and what the hell? Okay. And then you go through the trouble. Oh, yeah, then you go through the trouble and only see side boob and one butt cheek. But, hey, you know what? Back in the day when you it wasn't as available.
Look, we didn't have internet porn in our day. This was the best we could do.
You had magazines and you had to hide those under your bed.
And hope to hell Dad didn't find out.
Yeah.
That you'd stolen his.
It's go to the gas station. Here, you go buy it. No, you buy it.
I remember one time we found this big tire yard, and in the back of it was this abandoned house, and lo and behold, a pile of porn mags. We were about 12, 13 at the time. Whoa! It was like the freaking angel light shining down.
Was there?
And we thought nothing of the fact that why the hell is doing that?
I'd be more scared if I saw a pack of water in there in the bed. It means that the guy's gonna kill you. Touch his mags. That
came later, by the way.
So what you were saying was there was a lot of condensation that had built up in the house.
Oh yeah. Well, that too. Yes.
Well, he's in Florida. Florida. He's got a lot of humidity.
Right.
Just finished rewatching Demolition Man. It still holds up, and plus it did warn us what our culture may become. We're currently living a close parallel to it. Yes, everything is bad for you. Therefore, everything is illegal. Yum. That is the way it seems to be going these days. Hold on. Oy vey, so all my topics are used up. I was so lazy today. I was not.
So I've got to ask, how many of those magazines do you still have?
None. Oh man, Gail put a kibosh on that shit early in our relationship. Oh shit. Oh crap.
I have.
See you later, guys.
Son of a buck! What happened there?
I think he's playing a joke.
Oh, I don't know. It's not like him to jump off.
You think he'd really leave us here? You think he trusts us? All right, what do you guys want to talk about? We could talk about a lot of sensitive things, like politics. Really, let's just go into the really nitty gritty stuff here. Stuff that'll get this channel kicked.
Oh, yeah.
oh, hi. How's it going?
I got a message from my cousin because I'm keeping an eye and an ear out for my aunt and everything. So I went to look. Except for I forgot to turn off of this page. I was like, oh, okay. Click, and I was like, God damn it. I knew I was going to go on. Sorry, guys. Everything's fine, though.
I personally thought it was a joke. Because why would he trust us really here to be by ourselves?
No.
I thought something really bad had happened. You clicked off and you went, oh, crap, I left those idiots in charge of my channel. Sorry, family, you're on your own. I got to go back.
Well, he's talking about the magazines, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in trouble because I'm like Gail walked in. I'm like, he's making a joke."
No, that's exactly what happened. I saw it. I saw a message came up from my cousin. I wanted to see if it was about my aunt, and I just clicked with this channel instead of going to another one. And hello again to Dominic.
Hello again.
You asked the hard question, then he left. You know what? If you guys come here expecting professionalism, you haven't been watching the last 5 or 6 years. Let's see. I have a question. Planet of the Apes or Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes? Ooh, that's a good one there. Oh my gosh. Classic versus the new the new series.
There's a new series?
Dude, you had to have seen the new ones.
Actually, I haven't.
Really? Wow.
No, I just haven't gotten to them. I mean, I didn't watch movies for years. And when I went back and started catching up, I had, basically the history of movies to catch up on. So I've seen the originals, but.
Okay. Look, I mean, the classics are classics for a reason. They're a lot of fun. They're good. Some of them are good. Some of them, they're varying degrees, like most sequels. That is probably what would work better for the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes, because that was a very tight story. Three movies told the story. So I don't know. I probably would go Matt Reeves. I don't like the end though. I didn't like the ending of the last one. What was it? War on the Planet of the Apes, I think it was.
Yeah, it was War of the Planet of the Apes.
Because the Woody Harrelson character was very smart, and he was very paranoid. But he was paranoid because he was smart. He realized that this disease could easily wipe out people, and he sees a kid's doll in the ape cage, and he just goes in and picks it up. He's paranoid as hell, to the point where he shoots his own son, but he sees something that doesn't belong and he doesn't suspect anything. And I didn't buy that. And there was a lot of stuff where I was like, wow, you got to nerf the humans a lot for the Planet of the Apes to work in the first place. Like the bridge fight at the end of the first one. Yeah, you guys really thought that you needed to hit people with bullets instead of shoot people or hit apes with the bullets by throwing them or something like that, because they seem to think that guns didn't work unless they got close. The helicopter flying close to the bridge was lunacy, but that was a big problem. You have to nerf the humans a lot in order to have the Planet of the Apes work, and that was one of the biggest problems. They nerfed a great character. They nerfed a great villain in order to get what they wanted at the end of it. I could live with it though, the whole bit about the bridge. But for cripe's sake, you got a mini series where you got an ape riding a horse with machine guns. That's pretty badass.
I gotta admit though, like I left for a second, I came back, and you're talking about Woody Harrelson and Planet of the Apes. I'm like, what is he watching? Because I didn't know. I forgot about it. He was in the sequel things like that. It's the new trilogy. I was like, Woody Harrelson? Does he mean Chuck? No, or Charles Heston? It's like, but I was looking up on apparently the new Stargo trailer came out, introduces new characters for the show for season 2.
Jade.
Also, we also get
Was the Shade in the first season?
No, they showed a picture.
He's in this year.
Oh, freaking hell then. Maranya, I didn't see your comment. If you want to repeat it.
You got Jade and Thunderbolt.
I missed it. I can't find it.
Yeah.
The first movie is probably the best one. The third one is okay. Chuck Heston all the way, says Indie Comics Jones. I think other than the very first Planet of the Apes and maybe the fourth one, none of the rest are very good of the originals. And I kind of like the Beneath the Planet of the Apes, which is the second one. I found it cheesy and enjoyable. I think the third one was where they went to the 1970s.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it was good. It was more of a commentary on modern day society. And then after that, though, it really was about the fall of Earth. And I kind of got into those. And the battle was one of my favorites. But I haven't seen them in about 20-something years. So
how about the TV series?
Didn't remember it. I don't remember it at all.
It only lasted a season, I think, in 1975. One of the MeTV type channels was running it for a while. I think Ron Ely was the star.
Yeah, I was 5.
they have reruns, sir.
Sure they do. That's what people say. Yeah. But I got to tell you something. As far as all that's concerned, I'm very much a human. You may have noticed. So when I watch movies like that, even though it's like, oh, human bad because, destroying nature, I'm like, nature, humans gonna live. So I do root against the apes in the Planet of the Apes movies. 100%. I am team human. Thank you very much.
Oh, thoughts on the new Why the Last Man streaming series from DC?
Why the Last Man? Wait, are these previews actually up?
I read an article from 3 hours ago. It's supposed to be a Hulu series to debut in September. Here's a look at the main characters from Why the Last Man.
Oh, really?
It's on CBR.
Why do I have a feeling that the Last Man's going to get lectured a great deal in this series?
I hope that doesn't happen because why the last man is considered like a good comic series from DC.
Eric, do you realize that the monkey carries around with him is actually female, so he'll get pitched up by the monkey too. So, yeah, it's supposed to come on September on Hulu. Hulu's getting some good shows.
That is true. But I still need to read why the Last Man. It wasn't recommended to me in the past, and I've been meaning to check it out sometime.
My friend read it and he liked it. So,
which is, well, hopefully since it's on Hulu, it can be done with justice.
Let's see there are some actually pretty cool. I've got to tell you, a little bit of geek tingles going on. Yeah, I love the fact that we saw Shade. That's awesome. Yes, I knew it was Thunderbolt. I said the Bolt because that's what they called it.
Jim McGaffigan is actually going to do the voice of that. If you didn't recognize it.
Is season 1 streaming somewhere?
HBO Max. Yes.
Yeah. Damn it.
I'll tell you what. Show up. We'll do a couple of video watches and reactions. That way, you could just watch it through through the computer on my TV.
So there's not it's not on the CW app or anything like that.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine lent me season 1, but then he literally has 300 things to watch before he gets to that, but he had separation anxiety and asked for it back before I could watch it.
Well, you had it for a year.
I did have it for a while, but not that long. But, I mean, he orders something like 40 titles a week from my brother.
All right.
And
do you have like Roku or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the CW app, Roku. You should be able to watch it there.
All right, cool. That trailer did get me interested. I said I've aged out of the CW, but that looks so comic booky. I might have to make an exception.
It is a lot of fun. It's one of the better TV shows.
Luke Wilson, oh my gosh, really brings a lot of star power. Yeah.
Eclipso is going to be a part of this.
But like I said,
that kid, I mean, she is a kid.
Yep.
It's not a 30-year-old playing a high schooler like the Pretty Little Liars were.
Yeah, she's like, I think she's just turned 18 or something like that, or 19.
I didn't think she didn't look anywhere near that old.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like you said, it's now you're getting like, like I'm Buffy Summers. I'm 29 years old, but I'm not in high school now.
She wasn't that old when she started.
Yeah, but you got to admit, in the 80s and 90s, they had a bad habit of, you're in high school? You're going to be playing a high school kid. How old are you? 45. Okay, come on in.
The girl that played Kendra the Slayer that took over when Buffy died for a minute in season 1. 13, something like 13 years later, my niece was hooked on this show called Pretty Little Liars, and it had all the women from our era playing the mothers. That's how you know you're getting old. But Bianca Lawson was the actress, and she was the lesbian high schooler's girlfriend, and she was 31, playing a high school girl.
Yeah.
So that's
how old was the guy?
So that didn't end in the 80s.
How old was Superboy in the Superboy TV series?
Oh, he was 41.
Those are the actors in the 70s and 80s playing high school kids. Yeah, I'm a huge JSA fan. Probably one of the reasons why I like that. Oh my gosh, but it's so much fun, that TV show. It was such a good time. I was actually surprised to find out that some people were doing. No, I wasn't. Videos on it.
You got to catch up on Superman and Lois if you're not watching that. That is.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I know it's on the HBO Max as well. I'll check it out.
This had a huge plot, bomb go off like in the past couple episodes. So You got to watch it.
So much is coming out, like one right after the other. I still haven't gotten to Sweet Tooth or the Invincible cartoon you guys said to see. There's so much Doom Patrol season 2 I haven't even seen.
I'll just say this. I watched the first episode season 2 and I did not like the direction it looked like it was going, and I bailed because I just didn't have a stomach for it. I'm not saying it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just
was not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it doesn't want. I got to the first one because Alan Tudyk. That's what
he was really good. He was really good.
That's what made me want to watch the show, because I was like, dang, he's in here too. It's like, but yeah.
Look, I get it, because Doom Patrol is not a comic book movie in the way that we understand, or TV show in the way that we understand comics.
Mm-hmm.
It is so wonky. But if you're used to the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol, then it makes a lot of sense.
I didn't watch Umbrella Academy until the second season came out. I watched the first one because it was. I saw it. I would say I probably did judge it because I saw who was on it. I saw Elliot Page.
Oh, the Umbrella.
Yeah.
Academy.
So, and I was like,
by the way, that was Ellen Page. Elliot wasn't even born until 3 weeks ago. So there you go. I think it is kind of funny though. Gail, I told her I wanted to watch Umbrella Academy season 2 because I haven't seen it yet. She goes, well, I haven't seen season 1. You got to start over at the beginning. I'm like, oh my gosh, Sweet Tooth, Invincible. She's like, beginning. So I had to start it there. But yeah, at the end of every episode of Umbrella Academy, Elliot Page. I'm like, bullshit. That's like saying Caitlyn Jenner, Olympic gold medalist. No, Caitlyn didn't do. It was Bruce.
Miss. So I did like Riverdale season 1. I did like that, and I agree. It was weird to see Luke Perry being on there, and then Molly Ringwald playing Archie's mother, and it's just like it was.
Yeah, that wasn't another sign of getting old.
No. But like I said, that show went as soon as they introduced, hey, we're doing a Sabrina show. Let's go dark too. I was like, what? Archie's not that freaking dark.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that dark, just do Afterlife.
Like they had supernatural in there. Like you play this game here, then you die. I was like, this isn't Archie. This is Sabrina.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I was about to say that. If they're doing that, then why not just do Sabrina?
You mean Midge didn't get stabbed to death while impaled on a wall in the comics? I thought she did.
Happen?
Yeah.
Really? That happened to Midge in the TV show?
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and the Chilling Adventure? It's the Chilling Adventures of Archie.
But that's okay. Moose didn't care because he was off in the woods with Kevin.
Yeah.
They made Moose gay?
Yeah.
What?
No, they did. No, he wasn't gay. He just liked sex with boys.
He's bisexual.
Oh.
But
gay.
Season 2 was all about someone's going around knifing people to death. Yeah, that was someone was going around killing, and it was up to Betty Cooper to play Nancy Drew and find out who was.
By the way, I keep saying things about Ned Beatty dying, and R.I.P. Ned. Let me be the first to say rest in peace, Stan the Big Man Bolander.
Okay.
Because no one mentioned his homicide run.
Yeah, I put up my quote was that he was Sam from the Captain America movie because he's really got geek cred.
I hate that they're like, that's the guy from Deliverance with the pigs and the boys. I'm like, no, why is he remembered for that? Remember him for
because
Otisburg.
That got him on the map, and that's a really good movie.
Well, yeah, and I said Homicide's my all-time favorite TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in the first 3 seasons and was fantastic in it. And the man had range.
That's the guy who squealed like a pig. That's how I want to go.
But in all honesty, the man was Otis for my entire life.
Oh yeah, that's no question.
He that's what I saw him. When I was a kid, I knew him as Otis, and anytime he popped up in a Burt Reynolds movie or something like that, it would be like, hey, Otis.
It's another sign you're starting to get a little long in the tooth when characters from your favorite show that was on when you were comfortably in your adult years start dying off. Because Yaphet Kotto went about 3 months ago, and now Ned Beatty.
I remember. I remember the first time somebody of my age group died, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what? That's possible now?" I mean, did they get hit by a car? Are they in a plane crash? Who shot them? No, just had a heart attack. Holy shit! I gotta stop drinking soda. Yeah, it's
actually you do it because of medical reasons.
Here's the stopping.
There you go. Yes, I do need to. Geek moment was the Captain America from the lousy movies being next to Stan Lee and scene from First Avengers, says Maranya. Ned Beatty was also the voice of the evil teddy bear Lotso in Toy Story 3. Yes, I did. Veronica or Betty? Veronica, because if she's going for a poor guy like me, she might actually buy me a TV set or a house.
If we're going off the show, I'd still go with Veronica.
that decision can't be made. At least I couldn't make it last week.
Okay, so Eric says both.
I want Veronica to buy it for me and Betty to put it together because Betty's smart.
There you go.
Yeah, and Miss Soa says it's also weird to see folks we grew up with dying the past few years, but Beatty was much older. Yes, that is true.
He was 83.
That is 20 years older than actually 25. Right?
Where's Gene Hackman at? He can't be much younger.
He's 91.
There you go. Okay, so we talked about the death of the character.
So who's going to take over your character's Otisburg after you die? Oh.
That's right on time. That joke was right on time. I've dated enough Veronicas in my life. The Bettys are always better, says Joseph. Okay. No, I actually do have a Betty in my life, so I am fine. I'm good to go.
Betty White?
Yes. Me and Betty White have had an affair now since the Mary Tyler Moore show.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, she groomed me. Yeah.
You want to give me how much money when you croak? Groom me away.
Gail's awesome, man. I'm telling you, Gail is just freaking awesome. She definitely is a girl next door. So that's good. She is no love for Josie. Always thought it was cool that she had a band. Are we talking about comic Josie or TV? I don't know. I've never actually seen. I never actually seen anything but the first episode of Riverdale.
You saw Josie in the movie, though.
I did. I like that movie. I'm one of the few people I know that stand up for it. I think the writing on that was sharp. It was damn funny.
It was.
And Alan, what's his name, played Nightcrawler. Alan Cummings. He freaking ruled that movie. So you like that movie, Dominic?
Yeah. It's actually been a while since I've seen Josie and the Pussycats, but I enjoyed it very, very much because it did remind me of the characters from the comic books. And Alan Cummings, I did enjoy him playing as like one of the antagonists in the movie. It was also a funny satire on the music industry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Which is something that we miss.
The boy band getting out of the airplane and doing Backdoor Lover. I'm your backdoor lover. Coming to the room when the lights are low.
But do you remember that, though? That movie, though, that was back when we could stand Rosario Dawson and something.
Yeah, she was
hot. Cherry Reed was in it, and you didn't cringe.
Yeah.
There was no sharks.
I dug, yeah, I know, right? I dug the whole thing, man. It was just fun. I used to have the soundtrack. I thought it had some really good music to it. But
Parker Posey was still young, too.
Yeah, the humor was just fan-freaking-tastic.
But it budged. It was a box office flop, though.
Plus, the Pussycats were cute as hell, says Joe. Rhaegar saying, what would we call dude version of Josie and the Pussycats? Gay. Josie and the Pussycats is underrated movie, says Joe Rogers.
Yes, it is underrated.
The first movie is awesome. Let's see, MK. I like the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew mysteries. Back in the day with the TV show, yeah.
If I honestly, if they had a male version of it, it'd be like Jose and the Alley Cats.
Jose and the Alley Cats. Stray Cats. There you go. The Stray Cats. But I'm a ladies' cat. I'm a feeling Casanova man. That's a fact. Yeah, no, just me.
Do you get your dinner from a garbage can?
Yeah.
Like Heathcliff?
Thrown at me by a mean old man, and I get my dinner from a garbage can. I was a fan of Nancy Drew years ago. Yep.
Eric, you seem like the kind of guy that probably watched that pilot episode of Nancy Drew on CW, right?
That you would be?
No, did you? You watched that, didn't you?
No.
Rob said it was cringe. But it
Nancy Drew is on CW?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
if it's not Pamela Sue Martin, it's not.
Yes, that's the one I remember from the 70s. I thought you guys were talking about the 70s show. I didn't know there was.
I know you're old. You remember the actress's name?
Oh, she was in Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah, she had a name back in the day,
and she was the original Fallon on Dynasty. So she
on the original Dynasty, yes.
Now you're going too far.
So she wasn't on Days of Our Lives?
Don't know. Oh, I watched all those nighttime soaps.
Are you still watching?
Really? You and oh my gosh, I'm not going to say that because of the work wife joke.
Are you still watching?
You and Gail both.
Go ahead, read it. I was just going to say, Eric, are you still watching General Hospital?
Don't really have time anymore, and then it looks like Robert got written out again. So he is 76. So
Rob was on General Hospital.
He's 76. How old are you?
He's same age as I am. He's actually younger than me. I ain't 77. What are you talking about?
Robert.
Right.
No, now I'm gonna use the same argument that you use about you say you like musicals.
Yes.
Okay, those nighttime soaps.
They're
they had all kinds of crazy plots, and
beautiful women.
Every woman was hotter than a $2 pistol. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah, that is true. That Morgan Fairchild, I believe.
Yeah.
Was one of yeah.
It also teaches you how to get with murder.
I got to tell you, Morgan Fairchild probably accounts for 50% of my grip strength. Yeah. Let's see. DeBizzle saying, is the Nancy Drew worth watching? Apparently not. And MK is talking to Joe saying, forgot to quote on the last post I made. Yeah, Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys are the same universe.
So wait, wouldn't you be like Conan then, all buff and stuff after all these years?
Only my wrists. So anywho, on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
because she got older.
But the tapes stay the same.
There you go. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
he got older.
There you are.
My grip strength isn't what it used to be. Like a given.
Yeah. Gail's in the corner. All of a sudden, something hits her face. Let's see. I don't remember Nancy Drew TV show. Only books and PC games, and there was a Hardy Boys TV show as well back in the day.
I will say
Cassidy, Parker Stevenson.
Yeah.
I will say that it is odd the hall got quiet over there. Gail was talking, but now got real quiet. We talked about
Gail is home, and I am about to pull the plug on the live stream, not just because of that, but because we've been at it for an hour and 45. Don't want to scare the normies. Yep. Let's see. I used to watch One Life to Live in General Hospital for the chicks, and that guy, Roger Howarth, played a cool character named Todd Manning, says MK.
And for those of you that would care, which I'm sure is nobody, but Roger Howarth was Iris's boss at that newspaper that Wells killed in season 1.
All this freaking soap opera talk, I've got to turn off and go watch something manly like Fiddler on the Roof or Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Hey, did you know Starsky was in Fiddler on the Roof?
Now I do. I'll keep an eye out.
Wow.
He's actually like high up in the cast?
Tradition, probably the guy marrying the daughter. Who is this little girl I carried? Anyway,
so here's two things that has popped up I saw on
okay. We'll talk about this instead.
They're quick subjects. I'll just say this.
All right.
Vin Diesel is leaving Fast and Furious saga, and Far Cry just got a Netflix animated thing.
Okay, so wait, Vin Diesel is leaving what?
Fast and Furious franchise.
I thought everybody else was leaving the family.
Paul Walker already left.
Have you guys seen? Yeah. That's true.
Come on, that was funny.
It was. If I was a rich man.
There's only one way out of that. There's only one way out of the contract because they're doing 2 more movies, 10 and 11.
Lord in heaven.
So there only is one way. It's like the mafia.
Too many movies. And this movie knew that they had too many movies. That F9 is a ball of crap. It's horrible. It's one of the best F9 Fast and Furious movies because it knows it's crap. They're going to space this time. It's ridiculously
spoiler.
Diesel goes and says this franchise was born from pavement, from the concrete. He said the world just championed this underdog to place where it has already surpassed all those other franchises. But this franchise has a soul, and that soul has to rest. That's his way of saying
this franchise lost its soul when they stopped being car thieves.
The first movie was the best, and you didn't need anything else. It achieved its goal.
All righty, gang. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. VENKMAN, and Dominic, thanks for joining the chat here, and everybody else keeping the conversation going. That's what Mondays are all about. And feel free, if you've got a microphone, you want to jump on sometime, so long as people can hear you and it's not all, you're welcome. Hey, Gailey, how you doing? All righty. And as always, gang, tomorrow night, top 10. I think we might postpone top 10 to talk about comic books that have come out since January. Because we're getting towards the end of it. I want to remind people that of what's coming out, so we can kind of get an idea of what's good, what's bad, because we got to talk about the spirits. We got to talk about the Gabbies coming up. So there you go. Are you guys okay with that, or should we do it another day?
Oh no. So we're going to talk about comics that come out since January.
Oh shit, that leaves you out, doesn't it?
Okay. Would anybody like to play my part tomorrow night?
I can't because
bought a comic.
I can't because tomorrow night there's going to be 2 live streams on I Love Puppets at the same time.
We'll keep it top 10. I'll figure something out. All righty. So there you go, gang. But yes, Gabby and the Spirits are coming up. So I wanted to do something though that kind of gets everything back in the mindset, like go through some of the stuff that has been out.
Zach just volunteered to play me. It'll be like on a soap.
All right.
The part of Eric Breen will be played by Zach Richmond.
So basically,
and the ladies are cheering.
So basically, I'm leaving my work husband for a much younger man.
And
so there you go.
As it should be.
The weird part is that when they zoom in on the camera, this version of Breen will look great.
There you go. All righty, gang. Once again. All righty, gang. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.